In the 1840s, the promise of California called thousands west, toward land, freedom, and fortune. They left everything behind, chasing the golden dream across an untamed frontier. Among them, George Donner and James Reed, leaders bound by trust and ambition. For weeks, they rolled west, crossing plains that seemed endless and eternal. Each night was filled with laughter and song, faith unbroken beneath the stars. Then came a letter, a shortcut promising quicker passage through the mountains.
We must move now.
Others warned them to stay the known path, but ambition spoke louder than caution. The Hastings cutoff led them into a wasteland of heat, thirst, and illusion. As tempers flared, the unity that once bound them began to splinter. Beyond those peaks lay their destiny, and the trial that would define them. In late October, winter arrived early. What began as a few flakes became walls of snow, sealing the only road through the mountains. They built rough cabins from pine and hope, walls against a storm that would not end. By November, they were trapped, 87 souls encased in ice, 100 miles from rescue. Flour was gone, oxen meat nearly spent. Hunger turned days into slow torture. They searched for game, but the forest was silent. Even the animals had fled the cold. When nothing edible remained, they boiled hides from wagon roofs, chewing bitterness to stay alive. A brave few left to find help. 15 shadows walking into a storm that had already claimed men stronger than them. For days they wandered, lost in a blinding world where direction, hope, and strength disappeared together. When starvation broke every boundary, they faced the unthinkable, choosing life over humanity itself. Those who remained at Truckee Lake counted, each heartbeat against the storm, listening for footsteps that never returned. Hunger bred suspicion. Leadership dissolved. Every ration hoarded became a reason for hate. The rescue party fell to the same storm. Only a few crawled back, carrying nightmares instead of salvation. Isolation twisted minds. Reason cracked beneath weeks of hunger and grief. By midwinter, half the camp no longer stirred. The mountain had claimed them in sleep. At last, rescuers arrived, drawn by rumor, unprepared for what they would find. They entered a village of ghosts. The living stared back through the thin veil between life and death. They began the impossible task, hauling the dying over mountains that had swallowed the strong. Each mission found fewer alive. Every delay had turned another soul to silence. When the thaw came, 39 remained of the 87 who had set out.
Thank you.
The mountain finally released its hold. When the story reached the coast, the world recoiled, wondering how civilization could end within sight of paradise. Rumor turned survival into scandal. Whispers of cannibalism spread faster than truth. They returned not as heroes but as strangers, ghosts trying to rejoin the living. James Reed, once exiled from the wagon train, became the man who saved the few he could, a redemption bought with grief. George Donner never left the mountain. His wife stayed beside him until the end, refusing to abandon love even to live. 48 men, women, and children perished, their names etched into the snow and the nation's memory. Generations of scholars still argue what doomed them most: human error, false maps, or the mountain's cruel indifference. Today, the lake is peaceful, hiding beneath its surface the echoes of one of America's darkest winters. Decades later, explorers uncovered fragments of the camp, objects too ordinary to belong to legend, too human to forget. Their journals spoke quietly of cold, hunger, and loss. Truth told without bitterness, yet heavy as the snow that buried them. The children who lived carried the mountain inside them. Every winter wind returned the voices they once heard. When the railroad came, they named the crossing for the tragedy, so travelers would never forget the cost of reaching California. Writers turned their ordeal into spectacle. Fact blurred with fear, and compassion gave way to morbid curiosity. Yet even in tragedy's shadow, remembrance became an act of mercy, proof that empathy survives where judgment fades. Their story became a study in decision and consequence, how one man's map and another's pride can seal 100 destinies. Science later confirmed that 1846 brought one of the harshest winters in centuries, a perfect storm of chance and choice. If you stand there today, the wind still moves between the trees, as if carrying words half frozen in time. When the sun sets over these waters, it glows the color of old firelight, reminding us how fragile the line is between survival and surrender. Today, thousands cross these mountains each day, unaware they drive the same road once lined with frozen wagons. In schools, their names appear in textbooks, lessons in courage, misjudgment, and endurance. Even now, scholars argue what doomed them most, nature's cruelty or humanity's pride. Survivalists study their ordeal, turning tragedy into manual, proof that preparedness is learned in the echo of loss. The bloodline endures. Children of survivors tell the story softly, honoring those who paid for their future. Their choices still challenge us. What is morality when the body starves and the world turns to ice? The mountain remembers nothing. It simply stands, patient witness to the frailty passing across its slopes. Civilization moved on, faster and louder, but progress was paved with the memories of those who fell behind. Their story reminds us that exploration always walks with risk, and that survival is not only of the body but of compassion. In the quiet above these mountains, history whispers, endurance, humility, remembrance, the echoes of time.